Hi YouTube. I'm going to show you how I'm terrorized around my house. Um, I'll tell you what happened to that truck bed too, but that guy there yesterday, he was supposed to be delivering black dirt. He got paid for everything and okay, I'm going to go in my room now. All right, so Doug had went into town to get a fitting for something and he said, "Look, this guy will probably show up right after I leave." And mm, whatever, it was about an hour. And he came, and I told him, "Well, Doug's not here, but excuse my movement. I'm going to settle this just a sec, okay?" So he said, "Oh, that he didn't have Doug's phone number. And I'm like, "Well, so what? He's like a neighbor. He's like freaking close to us." So, excuse me, moving around. I'm going to set this down. I had it shut off on me once, so I hope it records. I had to catch that truck without cleaning my phone, so luckily, hopefully, it'll be okay here. So, anyway. So I let him in. At first, he asked me twice, and I'm like, at first, I was like, well, whatever, like I said. So I let him in. I give him Doug's phone number, and he said, "And I'll give Doug mine." And I'm like, well, okay. And I told him my name. I seen he had a cross on his neck, and I said, "Well, maybe you were having bad luck because you were a Christian." Well, when Doug gets home, then he goes up to talk to the guy too, because he owed us 2 loads of black dirt and a bunch of wood. So, and we didn't know if he was trying to skirt out of this situation or what. So, okay, uh, my dog and my cat are sitting there too. The noise bothers all the small animals and all of them, everybody. But anyway, so Doug said the guy already had given him the phone number the day before, and he had given him ours. So, see, this is how I get gang stalked. Well, in the meantime, so we're talking about God, and his outlook was, well, I'm just going to say everybody's got a chance, but the dude had a shallow outlook. And then he was telling me how his wife said that he was way too nice. So, here's these people that owe me money, owe me delivery of black dirt and wood, telling me they're way too nice, like trying to snake out of the deal. And, you get paid for something, then you got to go through with the deal, and, you shake on it, and, whatever. So they owed us money. So in the meantime, I'm thinking, well, hey, I got a bunch of eggs. So since she's having a hard life, I thought maybe she'd like some farm fresh eggs. So I packed some up, and I said, "Say hi to your wife," because I always get uncomfortable whenever there's a guy around, whether I'm married or not. I just like, or people in general, depending on if it's a woman, if it wasn't business, I wouldn't have let the dude in anyway. So, but yeah. So, okay, when his box broke off there was another guy in my yard that I was getting really bad vibes off of. And Doug knows this is true. So I'm getting all this bad vibe. And Doug goes to the guy wanted him to smack on that box with his tractor to knock the dirt down. So as they're doing it, I'm transferring energy with that bad vibe, and the box broke off the whole freaking truck right in the yard. Well, see, Doug knows that my energy transference is one wicked setup that God's got with my mind, because I behave, I mind, I do what he tells me to do, see? So, these guys pay me back. But when he was in my kitchen, I said to him, I said, "Well, the old bad energy thing." He was complaining about having to fix the box, that it wasn't fixed yet. And, "Well, the old bad energy thing that I felt," I said, well, the first thing I said to him is, if I had been asked to begin with, because this deal happened without my knowledge over in somebody, like probably in town or something. Doug was talking to one guy we knew and said he knew this guy that had wood and whatnot. So that's how the deal was made without my knowledge. They were coming in this yard with a truck before I had any say so in the whole thing. Well, that part wasn't Doug's fault because they were supposed to call. So, whatever. But that's how, in a way, and like I said, I've had like a customer get out of his truck, stand on the other side of the truck, and take a whiz while he's trying to talk to me about Doug. So I avert my eyes and I told Doug, see, I've never been, no, nothing's ever said to nobody about nothing. So, and I used to talk to this customer on the phone. I won't give him the time of day now. I'll just let it ring. In fact, 9 times out of 10, I don't even pick up my phone and I don't have a cell phone that I put to my head. So my brain is just fine, you know? So, yeah, these little things. But, that's the type of thing that happened. Oh, and that one that took a whiz, mysteriously something happened to, what was it, like his whole, and he's a big rig driver too, come to think of it. And I called him a mason. I said, and Doug knows how I feel about them. I want them all dead like that. And he went to put his hand on my Mustang, and I'm like, pretending like I'm gonna slap his hand. He's great big. I'm looking him in his eyes like, you know. I just got this way about me that's real. And it is real. God gives me these strengths that are God given guidance, that's for sure. Can I get a witness? I was singing that in my head. Can I get a witness? Can I get a witness? Oh, shoot, ski. But I've been on a funny mood today. I've been thinking about the Pennsylvania accent that RT says, like with month or grease. Oh, no, that's not greasy. I can't say it like my mother-in-law. When she said grease, it sounded greasy. That's it, greasy. Whoa, you know. But that's some funny shit. Yeah, she was from Meadowlands, Pennsylvania. That's pretty. I've been there. And into upstate New York through Buffalo and back around the Great Lakes. Crossed, was it Lake Ontario or Huron? One of the two. I think Ontario. No, it might have been Huron. It's smaller. It wasn't a very long, like 2.5 hours, something maybe on that ship. I don't know. It was wicked. I get sick. But I've been around all the Great Lakes, so, and into Canada and back down. And then I lived right below Canada and had to go there every day to a big farm field. When I was working out in Montana, they own land up in Canada too. So huge ranch. That was so fun. Those were good days. They really were. And yeah, I'm thankful every day, and I gotta honestly admit, people been talking about Hillary slipping and stuff, and when I first heard that, I have to admit that I wished she would a long time ago, because in public, because when you're walking high, like on high heels, you are prone to fall because you're not wearing the right shoes to be stable. So, um, yeah, but I am thankful she's okay. And, I am sorry too she wears bedspreads and oven mitts like that. And it's like, maybe she wouldn't have fallen if her clothes didn't hang down to her feet. It's like, whatever, you know. But yeah, nah, I don't wish no harm on anybody. If they want to come clean about all their crap, and I mean, don't worry about what the public or anybody else thinks. What does God think of you inside? I mean, if you're doing something wrong, if you're taking all the people's money, or if you're raping little kids, or leading your own children astray, whatever funky thing you're doing, um, that's one thing my kids could never accuse me of. They could try, but they couldn't stand beside me and keep their gaze in my eyes while they were lying, you know. So I never led my children wrong. So anything I taught them that might have been a little gruff or out of the ordinary was totally to save their lives in every aspect, right down to hoping they were martial artists, although they weren't really trained within my they did that like their taekwondo they did at their dad's house when they were teenagers, but my judo and movements and um, karate, or I mean, jujitsu, aikido, and kung fu was a lot stronger, and they were raised with that like that. So yeah. And I would keep them active, like as far as yoga. And yes, you do have to be careful of the mindset you are in when you're practicing and when you're meditating. If you don't know what you're doing, that Satan can get in there just like in daily. But when you're really quiet and still, you better make sure who you're talking to and what side of the brain that's coming in on. If it's on the when you got your frontal lobes, but the left side is strongly connected with your heart, just like right up through your brain, and the right side, your frontal lobes can be injured, but you can bypass things and make connections like electrons in there. And when you have Christ's blood in you, He helps keep that renewed every day with all that fresh stuff. So, yeah. So I didn't even know if this guy was going to show up today, but it was sort of irking me all night because he had to point out that his wife had said he was way too nice of a guy, and then thinking about the thousands and thousands I lost from liars and scammers and thieves and everything in my life several times, and here I got this weakling saying, how nice of a guy somebody that wants to rip me off is. It's like, yeah, it irked me all night long, but I thought every time she cracks one of them eggs, that I told him, I said, I don't think he said thanks either, but whatever. So Christian. And I might be posting this and putting their name on it if they don't fulfill their duties and their obligations. So, but just saying it just freaking irked me. But like I told him when he first got here, because the guy that introduced us all is shady, and I told him if I had known anything about it, it wouldn't have happened. So like he could take those eggs and go give them to his wife, and every time she cracks one, she'll have to think how stupid me being very hardworking in my life for everybody, and Doug actually being physically older, and this guy was saying how he's like 2 years older than me, died in operation almost, and I'm like, I did too, and he saw the light and he talked to God, and I'm thinking, okay, I know that demon terminology because God said if anybody said they saw the light in that extreme, that wasn't quite what that would be, because you know why? Because I didn't see no light. I went through some dark ass shit and fought my way tooth and nails from the hounds of fucking hell to get into even not a light, it was just remotely light whiteness area for cleanliness and keeping all the bugs out, even etherically. So, and there's a lot more to that journey too. Several stages that if it can't be articulated, it just can't. So that's how I know that. Yeah. So I know I'm a witness, was born for that. See, because we won the war before we even started this little charades here. This is just to teach the other ones that don't realize that Satan got his ass put in a smackdown. Now, your turn. You know? So don't be thinking you're big and bad and tough. You can't sit there and take a truck and break tons of metal with your mind, with convergence frequency from God. You can't convert bad energy into good. It's possible. You think you can convert good energy into bad, and that is fired right back at you, and you look sicker and older every day because of it. Look at me. 60, man. Yeah. So that's why. hmm Keep trying to kill me. I don't care because I'm in here. I'm in here. And I am walking with our Father, and I am thankful every day, and I do smile and laugh every day, no matter what. So, yeah, that's me. Oh, and a good point to realize is that although certain books of the Bible were written by mankind, there are messages directly from Christ right in there. Jesus speaking directly to people, and the good thing for that, and something that the elite cannot copy. They can make codes with numbers, and they can try and figure out science with all their little formulas. And like I told you before, I can pick out a formula. I'll make a formula. 7b equals God's new world order. So you see, I can put any name on anything I want to put it on, you know, and say that. So in physics, thinking that there's no gravity, only for evil blood because it can't ascend, you know, little things that are actualities in science that they're trying to tell you different on, that type of thing. So yeah. Oh, let's see. I was thinking. I'll go back to where I was a minute. Um. Oh, I'll probably close this one out. I got something I got coming up here. I'll call it a Dougism. Quote from Doug. What we were talking about yesterday, and it was ironic. It was about skirts, so I'll be back at you with that later. I love you. From Pine City, Minnesota, USA.